Welcome to this week's Schreiber Council meeting. Council will be offering free public skating to residents from Monday to Friday during the March break. The Discovery Center is planning extended evening hours and exploring new attractions to enhance the museum experience. And finally, important upgrades are being planned for the township's water treatment plant in order to ensure safe, reliable drinking water for residents. Now here's the agenda.
I'd like to welcome everybody to our council and committee of the whole meeting for March 10th, 2026. I'd like to begin by acknowledging that we're in Robinson Superior Treaty Territory and that the land on which we gather is the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe and Métis. Can I have approval of the agenda for the open session?
I have a change though,
Okay,
before you guys approve it. So, item 4 in committee of the whole. Can we pull that? And I'll bring it back to another meeting.
3, 4. You're
Yep.
okay.
in the addition.
And, also 2, there's going to be an addition. So it'll become 21, I guess, in the committee of the whole. It's gonna be the Aqua financial plan.
And you still want to do these, right?
Yes, she does, yes.
Good.
Okay, that's it?
Thank you.
Nice.
Yeah, thank you.
So
Okay.
as amended.
Any disclosures of interest? Hearing none. No delegations. Any questions?
No,
Okay, minutes of previous meetings. Resolution 5726. Moved by Councillor Burgeot, second by Councillor Morrow, that the minutes of the council and committee of the whole meeting held February 24th, 2026 be accepted as circulated. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Carried. Business arising from the minutes, committee of the whole recommendations, resolution 58-26. Moved by Councillor Morrow, second by Councillor McGrath, that council transfer to the Recreation Committee Reserve Fund $403, which represents vending machine donations in 2025. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Carried. Resolution 59, 26, moved by Councillor McGrath, second by Councillor Bergeau, that council transfer to the Recreation Committee Reserve Fund $1,360.72, which represents the 2025 Winter Carnival surplus. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Carried. Resolution 60, 26. Moved by Councillor Morrow, second by Councillor Bergeau, that council transfer to the Recreation Committee Reserve Fund $199.80, which represents the 2025 net apparel sales. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Carried. Resolution 61 26, moved by Councillor Morrow, second by Councillor McGrath, that council transfer to the Recreation Committee Reserve Fund $1,106.23, which represents the 2025 CCR event surplus. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Carried. Resolution 62-26, moved by Councillor McGrath, seconded by Councillor Morrow, that council transfer to the Recreation Committee Reserve Fund $5,823.72, which represents the 2025 Heritage Days surplus. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Carried. Resolution 63-26. Moved by Councillor Bergeau, seconded by Councillor McGrath, the Council of the Township of Schreiber support Resolution 2026-21 of the Township of Nibbigan with respect to the formation of a Northwestern Ontario Regional Conservation Authority. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Carried. (64-26). Moved by Councillor McGrath, second by Councillor Bergeau, that council approve the attendance of Kay Mullins at the AMO 2026 Annual General Meeting and Conference to be held August 16th to 19th, 2026 in Ottawa, and that expenses be paid as per township policy. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Carried. Resolution 65-26. Moved by Councillor Morrow, seconded by Councillor McGrath, that checks issued on the general bank account in the month of February 2026 in the amount of $221,212.06 for general accounts payable be approved and ratified. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Carried. Resolution 66-26. Moved by Councillor McGrath, seconded by Councillor Burgeot, that bank debits issued on the general bank account in the month of February 2026 in the amount of $68,856.30 for payroll be approved and ratified. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Carried. Resolution 67-26. Moved by Councilor Morrow, second by Councilor McGrath, that bank debits paid out of general bank account in the month of January 2026 in the amount of $56,430.81, and in the month of February 2026 in the amount of $32,026.45 be approved and ratified. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Move into other business. Resolution 68-26. Moved by Councillor Morrow, seconded by Councillor Burgeot, that bylaw 3-2026, being a bylaw to regulate the use, size, location, and removal of election signs within the corporation of the Township of Schreiber, be given first, second, third, and final reading and enacted. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Carried. Resolution 69-26. Moved by Councillor McGrath, seconded by Councillor Burgeot, that bylaw 4-2026 being a bylaw to adopt policy A-2026-01, the use of corporate resources during election period, be given first, second, third, and final reading and enacted. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Carried. Resolution 70-26, moved by Councillor Morrow, seconded by Councillor McGrath, that bylaw 5-2026, being a bylaw to delegate authority to the CAO/clerk for certain acts during the lame duck period, be given first, second, third, and final reading and enacted. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Carried. Resolution 71-26. Moved by Councillor McGrath, seconded by Councillor Bergeau, that bylaw 10-2026, being a bylaw to authorize the execution of an agreement between the Township of Schreiber and the North Shore Harvest Cover, be given first, second, third, and final reading and enacted. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Carried. Resolution 72-26, moved by Councillor Bergeau, second by Councillor McGrath, that bylaw 11-2026, being a bylaw to authorize the execution of agreement between the Township of Schreiber and Crescent Engineering Corporation, be given first, second, third, and final reading and enacted. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Carried. Resolution 73-26. Moved by Councillor Morrow, second by Councillor Bergeau, that bylaw 12-2026, being a bylaw to appoint a municipal auditor, be given first, second, third, and final reading and enacted. All discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Okay, move on to committee of the whole part of the meeting. Number 1, Economic Development Officer Report on Discovery Center Highways.
Thank you. I have 3 things to present on behalf of the Discovery Center. First one is a recommendation that the council approves the responsibility of the Discovery Center Highway sign be moved from the Community Economic Development Committee to the Discovery Center Committee. Now that there is a Discovery Center Committee, they are requesting the responsibility to take over the highway sign and get the funding and the sign built. We ran it by the Community Economic Development Committee, and they all agreed that that they thought it was right to move the responsibility of the highway sign to the Discovery Center. If committee council approves it, the sign design would remain the same, other than the possibility of adding the words of train museum. Any of those changes or any of that would be brought to a different council, but right now we're just looking for approval to remove responsibility to the Discovery Center.
I'm saying in here, the committee is going to deal with the funding and.
Yeah, they have some fundraising ideas, and we're gonna put a package together to bring to council to present.
Okay, yeah, no, I'm good with that.
Yep.
Dave, Dan,
Yeah, good.
Anna Marie, Benji. Okay, do what you have to do there, sir?
Number 2 is a recommendation that council approves the Discovery Center performing a volunteer-led trial period of keeping the train museum open until 8 p.m. on Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. The Discovery Center committee feels members would like to keep the museum open for extended hours to see how many more visitors will bring to the museum. The extended hours will be filled by volunteers only and would not need any paid students or municipal staff. And this is a great experiment to get some data from the low, medium, and high traffic times that can help, maximize, how many hours we keep open for the Discovery Center moving forward.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good with it. So the extended, the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, is that from June 1st or whenever you roll, like right through?
right through.
Okay, so it's
No,
not
I
a set,
better
it's not a
double check.
set period, it's
Well,
right through?
Because the students will run out eventually.
those students are just there July and August.
Yeah,
So we talked about having volunteers come in from 5 to 8 for those days. But I should discuss with them, maybe we only want to do it for
when the students are.
one or 2 months. But regardless, it'll be volunteers coming in.
I was just gonna, regardless of the hours, it's
Yeah.
gonna be
The students will
volunteers, if
still
you're
be
short
till 5.
volunteers and
Then we
then,
won't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, you want to burn them out.
yeah.
no,
Be there from,
Yeah, I know.
till 8 p.m.
Yeah,
no, I agree, I think it'll give you a good, should be able to give you good, well, it will give.
well, and in the summer, it is, July and August is just the students, right? So some of the volunteers already expressed that they'd be more than willing to come in for a few hours.
Oh, yeah.
During the week, so.
Sounds good.
No, it sounds good, I'm good with it. Benji?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Okay, you wanna go number 3
Thank
then?
you. Okay, final one. Recommendation that council approves the Discovery Center investigating the possibility of getting a caboose donated to the museum. This is not a commitment to move forward with getting caboose, it's just approval to get, to start the investigation. There will be no financial impact on the township, it's just information gathering stage. Any future costs, if any, would be presented to council for moving forward. Discovery Center feels that a caboose could bring some added excitement and value to the museum's visitors. So they just want to see if there is availability of somebody to donate, and if it is, what the cost would be, if, you know, to move it there, or any suggestions of what to do with it. So it's just research stage, and anything, you know, everything will be presented to council. So there's no commitment to move.
I can help you look into that, Jamie. I do know about a year ago there is one in Schreiber Yard that was 95% sure that it's surplus, and Louis Costa, who was our he retired now from CP, but he was actually going to look into to seeing if we could do something like that. But I can get you some information on that.
Okay, I appreciate it very much.
Sweet.
Everybody's okay with that?
It's just researching?
Just
Yep.
research, yeah.
Okay, thanks for your report, Jamie.
Good stuff, Jimmy.
Number 4, we pulled. It's all gonna have to be renumbered, I guess. So we're going to number 5, treasury report, council expense and remuneration.
So this is an annual report that's required per section 284(1) of the Municipal Act 2001. The recommendation is that council receive the council and expense and remuneration report for the year ending December 31st, 2025. Please check your spreadsheet, and if you see any discrepancies, please report them to me. The summary page in the report compares the annual costs over the past 5 years. Financial impact for 2025 is a total of $83,773.40.
Okay, I'm good with that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd just like to say on her report, she's got included in here the amount that's paid to the counselor from the Thunder Bay District Social Services Administration Board. Because she has to report that. When you pull that number out, council ended up to budget underspent $4,667 for the 2025 year. So done well. Most of those savings were realized in conferences and travel. So it's something to think forward as they're moving forward with their 2026 budget.
Sweet.
Sweet.
Okay, treasury report 2024 capital continuity.
Okay. So the 2024 capital continuity was originally, the initial one was originally discussed on July 22nd, 25. There have been some updates since that time, and because we have not closed 2024, we don't have 2024 statements yet, I'm recommending, there's 2 recommendations. The first is that the dollar value in line 8 of resolution 198.25 be amended to read $36,519.86. I will go on into the analysis in a minute. The second recommendation is that the dollar value in line 18 of resolution 198.25 be amended to read $293,461.96. After the reporting of the July 25th capital continuity, there were some changes. The first one had to do with the NOHFC project 7510190 arena upgrades. At the time of the report in 25, staff were working with NOHFC on the final claim, specifically the inclusion of the roof repairs as eligible expenses. In 25, we were unsure. We were fairly certain that they were going to be included, but not completely certain. We found out in November of 25 that the roof expenses were included, so it changes the amount of the resolution 198 from $106,094.50 to instead $36,519.86. So that's a good news story. It's a savings of just over 69,000. Can't read my own writing right now, so I'll leave it at that.
And that was coming out of infrastructure
That
reserve?
was coming out of infrastructure
Okay.
reserve. Just let me double check that. Yes.
Okay.
The next item being identified in the report, not part of the recommendations though, is there was an expense in 24 for the clarifier pumping prior to the state of emergency beginning, and that was an unbudgeted expense. It was approved by resolution 194-24, but it was not, it was prior to the state of emergency being declared, so it didn't qualify at the time as a state of emergency repair. So what we are suggesting is that at the end of 24, we keep it as unfunded in the capital continuity, and that it be included in 2025, at the end of 25, as part of the state of emergency, as those expenses may potentially be eligible for grant funding. Anything after April the 1st, 24 is potential for eligibility, so you may get 73% covered for that. So the suggestion is to accept the continuity schedule as presented for both 24 and 25 for that expense.
And the amount of that expense, Mark?
That is $47,692.12.
And we're just gonna leave it unfunded,
For
and you
20
won't change 2025 tonight, it'll be changed later on.
Yeah.
Okay,
So the second recommendation is amending resolution 198.25, had to do with the Fednor Community Revitalization Project. So we did receive notification that the Fednor funding, they went back and approved expenses that were paid in prior years, but were included in part of the final payment from them. So the original resolution had the transfer from reserve at $342,868.78. But now the recommendation is to have that reduced to $293,461.96. So that's a difference of just over $49,000 in savings.
Questions for Merlin?
just one, Marlene,
Sure.
your report for reserve fund schedule, which is of course unaudited for 2024. The infrastructure fund number that is recorded here as a balance of December 31st, 2023, does that include the surplus from the 2023 audited financial statements that we approved?
Yeah.
So that amount is already in that number?
It's included in that number.
Okay,
Yeah.
thanks.
See the cat started. Okay, sorry about that. Treasury Report 2025.
Okay, so the 2025 capital continuity and budget variance report. The attachment number 1 is the budget variance report. So myself, Director of Operations, and the CAO clerk have gone through all of the projects. They do have the comments on what's been complete. The recommendations, there are 3 recommendations in this report: that council transfer to the Canada Community Building Fund, Reserve Fund, formerly known as the Federal Gas Tax, $68,054.76, which represents funding received in 2025. That council transfer to the Water Reserve $5,000 for the water treatment plant coagulant study that was budgeted in 25 but not done. And that council approved the use of the Canada Community Building Fund revenues to cover the cost of the 2025 wastewater treatment plant ESA building upgrades, and that any remaining project costs be funded through the OCIF funding. So the majority of the capital projects were completed in 25. If you have any questions on attachment number 1, we can talk about that. There are projects that are listed, any projects that are listed as in progress have been carried forward to the 2026 capital project list, as well as those projects listed as not started. The 3 recommendations that are currently for council to consider: the first deals with transferring the Canada Community Building Fund revenues received in 25 to the reserve fund in 25. The second recommendation deals with the water treatment plant coagulant study that was budgeted at $5,000 in 2025, but it wasn't started, and you have since been informed that the project quote has come back and it's $15,500 that has been included in the 2026 budget. And so transferring the $5,000 that was budgeted through taxation in 25 to reserve at the end of 25, you can then bring it forward in 2026 to fund up a third of what the cost is estimated to be. The third recommendation is to confirm the use of the Canada Community Building Funds to cover the 2025 expenses for the wastewater treatment plant ESA project, as you did in 2024, with any balance of expenses being covered through the OCIF funding. It's estimated that the 2 funding streams will cover most of the project costs, leaving a balance of approximately $11,000 to be funded either through transfer from reserve or through taxation. And so in the budget was passed, I believe it was in June of 25, and then subsequent to that, at that time the budget for the ESA stuff was being funded through OCIF and borrowing. And then in July, the determination was made that the Canada Community Building Fund revenues were going to be used to cover the cost of the ESA expenses along with the OCIF
Rather than
funding,
borrow.
rather than borrowing. And so this is just requesting, because the project was completed in 2025, so this is just reaffirming the use of the Canada Community Building Fund revenues, deplete those monies towards the expenses, and then use the balance of the OCA to cover. So basically you're carrying forward what you decided to do for 24, you're just continuing with it for 2025.
So when we met in May and June of 2025 to discuss the ESA project, we had all the expenses to the end of 2024 covered using those 2 funds. This is just the amount that was left and done in 2025.
25 expense, yes.
And so the amount of the 2025 expenses were
2025.
I'm thinking they were 164,000.
I was in 24 looking, but yes.
So that's what we're looking to cover
Yeah.
in 2025 using what we used to call the federal gas tax and OCIF.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm estimating that, like, on the schedule when I prepared it, did not include the 68,000 that I'm asking you to transfer to the reserve.
Right.
So you're gonna add the 68 to the 55, you get just over 123, and then the balance will come from the OCIF. I'm still calculating the interest on that to see what we earned there, and we didn't receive any funding from OCIF, but we do have an allocation. That's why I'm saying that there may be a portion that's not usable, because we didn't receive the funding in 25, even though it was allocated to 25, and
Right.
that was just over, I meant to look to double check, over 190.
I hope just over 190, yeah.
96, I think
The
it was.
OCIF?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, 190.
So the thing is that you'll have,
We just haven't received it. That was
you haven't
allocated, but we
received it.
haven't
It's
received it.
allocated, but that, if you agree to these things, then the final report for 25 can get submitted for OCIF, and then your funding will come. The funding will flow so that we actually receive it. Yeah, so then you can have that conversation of what you want to do with your OCIF funding going forward for 2026.
Right.
At a later meeting, not
Right.
at tonight's. That's not on here. This is just to say, let's use what we have for 25.
Okay.
Okay, it's, it hasn't kicked in.
Just checking.
Good.
Okay.
I'm good.
Sorry, Mayor Lawrence. The only thing I would suggest though too, moving forward, is when we do have another budget meeting, that these updated numbers be like changed and reflected with the recommendations we've made tonight. Okay, thanks. Sorry.
Okay, thanks, Marlene. Director of Operations, report your status report.
Okay, so it's a pretty short report this time. The Thunder Bay District Health Unit was here on March 2nd to inspect the arena concession, and that went very well. They received their A rating. The new sauna has arrived and is being installed. We just have one little hiccup. It is not in service yet, but we expect it to be by the end of the week. The water flow stats are attached for council's information. The numbers look pretty consistent. Our minimum flows are consistent to coincide with not having any apparent leaks in town. Aqua is working on the municipal drinking water license renewal. We'll talk a little bit about that later in the agenda. The old boiler at the Public Works garage has quit. When we received the new boiler last year, they worked on the old boiler, but they did tell us at that time that we were on borrowed time. So it has quit. It's completely cracked and all the glycol is leaking out of it, so they have tagged it out of service. So we will add that to the 2026 budget for consideration as well.
I just have one question on the water flow. Why was there a spike around the 11th of February?
Yep, that 2054 was our max flow, and we're not quite sure. I called, usually when I see something like that, I call Jan or Public Works or somebody to see if anything out of the ordinary happened, and nobody was doing anything particular that day. It was just a high consumption day for the community.
Okay.
I mean, the good news is that it came back down to your minimum liters per second, so
Stayed safe.
yeah, we know that nothing
Major
catastrophic happened.
have you got a response? Have you sent an invoice out to, like, who do you send that to? Nipigon Minor Hockey? Or?
I have a contact, I have not yet. I haven't got the price for the new paper towel dispenser yet. As soon as I get that, then I will send the invoice out to the coach for
And then
that.
do you invoice the junior B team for the time the guys had to take to clean the dressing room?
I
would.
If that's what you want me to do, I certainly can, because it
I
did
100%
require,
would, if they're
you
gonna
know,
do that to our
significant
building.
time.
I'm good with that.
Mm-hmm, okay.
Should be accountable.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Any other questions?
No
No.
other questions? Marlene, you wanted, did you want direction? Sorry, I'm going back now for your last report there, the 2025, to go ahead.
Yeah, so the recommendations, I think I had it, now you're quizzing me and
No,
But I think I
There was
added
3
the-
recommendations
Yeah.
and then 3 recommendations. So you're looking, the mayor's asking, are you looking for direction to proceed with those?
yes, was it?
Yeah.
Yes, you guys were, I assumed you guys were all in agreement with everything that was there, so.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
minutes will reflect that.
Yeah.
Okay,
okay,
perfect.
everybody's good, okay, sorry about that. So, the coagulant study,
So we, in our 2025 MECP inspection, we were mandated to conduct a coagulant study. At first, we thought that we could, the Walkerton Clean Water Center will do the study at no cost, except we have to cover the expenses associated with the study. So that's this recommendation. The amount that they are quoting us is $13,135. And the project will happen in 3 phases. They will build a replica of our water plant, the 5 filters. And then they'll conduct their jar testing. And with that comes a lot of lab results. Some of the lab work can be done in-house with Clean Water Center, but some of it has to go to external labs. So that's part of the cost that we are on the hook to pay for. After phase 1 is done, then they will ship the replica to our Schreiber plant. They will also come to our plant and they'll conduct more testing in-house here. So we have to pay for the shipping and again, the external lab costs and such. And then 3 will be the final report for us. So they're looking at a number of different scenarios. We might end up with the same coagulant chemical that we're using now. They may have an additive added to the existing coagulant chemical that we use, or they may find something completely different that works better with our 5 pressure filters. So we did budget 5,000 in 2025. It was not started in 2025. So we have the 5,000 that will carry forward to 2026. So the additional amount of 8,135 may have to come from water reserve.
Did we originally think the 5,000 would cover it all?
Because in initial conversation, they said that we'll do it and it won't cost you anything, as opposed to us hiring an engineering company to perform a study. But then once they came out with their proposal, there was cost associated with the lab work and building the replica and all of that kind of stuff. So that's where the 13,000 came from.
But if we did have to go the other way with an engineering firm,
Oh, you'd be paying probably 30,000.
okay.
And there is a chance that with this bench scale testing that they come up with a different type of chemical that would cost us less money. I mean, it
Absolutely.
could cost us more, but it's possible. It's
Yeah.
not gonna cost us less, I know. Okay, so you're gonna work the additional into your 2026 budget?
Yep.
We regulated to do this. This is something that we have to do.
This is mandated by the MECP in the 2025 inspection. And by doing this, we may fix the turbidity issue on the filters, and we also may see a reduction in the byproducts like the HAAs and THMs, which is why the ministry has mandated us to conduct the study.
And those two things that you mentioned, they're bad stuff, right?
Yeah, that's the byproducts of adding chlorine to your
And
water.
they're cancer causing
Yeah.
byproducts.
We've seen a reduction in that since we've got the smart meter installed post filters, but it still remains because we're using surface water.
Right.
Okay.
I would say my thought would be to move forward with it.
Mine also.
Oh, yeah.
Benji?
It doesn't sound like we have a choice. I don't know. We didn't do it last year. How did we get away with not doing it last year?
It's a cumulative. So last year we seen a spike in the HAAs and THMs, if you recall, and that's why we initiated the smart meter. But when the inspector comes in and looks at all of the numbers, it's something that he identified that we needed to conduct the study for and see if we could do better with a different chemical.
Is there a chance it's going to cost us more to run the plant after this test?
It depends on what chemical. Right now we are using the cheapest chemical. There are two other options out there, or it could be as simple as just an additive. So the chemical cost is unknown at this point, but it's a possibility that the cost of chemical might go up. Unlikely it'll go down, but
Okay, number 10 then, Director of Operations, filter media.
so this goes hand in hand with the coagulant study. Because they are doing the coagulant study and they're building a replica of our 5 pressure filters, that of course they use the specifications for the filters, but we have realized that our filters are not operating at their optimum performance capabilities at this point. We looked back in the records to find when the last time the interior of the filters were inspected. In the last 10 years that records are available for it, no record was found. But when we spoke to Marmon Industrial Water, who installed the filters, they indicated that their service is pretty specialized, and if they didn't do it, it's unlikely that it ever had been done. So the filters were installed in 1983, and those are probably the original strainers. It is recommended that the strainers be changed out. There's 100 strainers in each of the pressure filters, and they should be changed out or the interior inspected every 7 to 10 years. And we know that we haven't done that. When the strainers, if you look at the picture that I provided you, on the bottom are the strainers, and they're just little plastic cups that are mounted in the metal plate. And the plastic cups over time, of course, get brittle and sometimes they break. Then you start experiencing media loss. And we know that that is an issue. That's why we're going to replace the media, top up the sand and the anthracite. But there's no point in doing that unless we do the interior inspection of the filters to replace all these strainers. So the quote for this work to do all 5 filters is $135,600. However, in the first visit, this is scheduled for 2 visits from this company. In the first visit, they're going to take down 2 filters. They'll inspect the interior filter, change the media, change the strainers, and they are also going to train Aqua on the process on how to do this. So there is a possibility that we won't have to bring Marmon back for the second visit. There's a possibility that maybe Aqua can do it. At this point, we don't see how this process happens at all because the hatch on the top of the filters are very small. We're not quite sure how a body gets in there, but Marmon is the expert. So once they show us, maybe we learn how possibly we can do it. So there is that possibility that it may come in cheaper than the 135.
So we can visibly see that our filters are failing.
Yep.
And it's been going on for a while.
Yep.
So could it be catastrophic? It could be catastrophic failure at some point.
Well, all that filter media, if one of those strainers are broken or missing and all the filter media is going in, it's in your distribution system, and we don't want to see that for sure. So we have to at least reassure ourselves that the filters are operating properly.
So that was going to be my next question. What's the downstream effect of filter failure? So that's one of them.
Yeah.
There's more.
Well, the filter failure is going to be your turbidity, high turbidity spikes, your HAAs. I mean, it takes out all the pathogens out of the water after it's seen the coagulant. So unless we do this work to the filters, there's really no point to the coagulant study, but we're being mandated to do it.
Right.
So if you're going to get the most out of the money you're spending on the coagulant study, you really should get your filters up to spec.
And then these filters will be good for
Another 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To get rid of the turbidity it would be great, every spring you're on pins and needles with it. But, so if we get it done, you say 2 and then 3?
Yes.
When would the 2 be?
We're hoping to get this done before
The coagulant.
spring.
It doesn't make sense to do it after.
That's right. The coagulant will be done, they're going to start their lab work, but when they come, they're supposed to be on site sometime in June. So we're hoping to have the filters done absolutely 100% before mid-June.
So is it 135 minus 30 that we take off a capital list? Or is it 135 that's us
Take it off.
us taking the 30 off already?
No, the 135 is the price on the quote, but there's $30,000 that I think we can shave off the capital list for 2026 that's already been approved. So we can move some of that money towards the 135.
So it would leave us with 105.6.
Yeah.
that we come up with. And are you making a plan for this to present to council in budget?
Yes, it has to go into, I need approval to move forward to get the arrangements going, but it will be added to the budget.
Why wasn't this on the Aqua capital list originally though?
Because we had no idea that the filters required this kind of maintenance until the coagulant study came up, and we started talking to Clean Water Center. That's when we realized that there's more anthracite than sand, so we are having media loss in the sand side. And then Aqua also realized that when they asked for all the specs on the pressure filters, they realized that this is the way they're supposed to be working, but when they come here, our filters are not working to spec. So we should probably think about doing something with the filters. They brought it up at their last quarterly Aqua meeting.
They
with
talked
us.
about, there was some concern about the strainers and that there's very little sand left in these filters because it's just been slowly but surely draining away.
Great.
Okay, so back to my question. So you're looking at June to shut 2 filters down?
No, we're hoping to do it before June. We want completion on all 5 filters
By
by June.
June. You'd be doing it in the spring.
So
No, I think
it depends on when they're available to come, but we're hoping to do the 2 filters prior to the thaw, but it's all gonna be, we're definitely not taking the filters offline during the spring turnover. Once the thaw starts, we are not doing the filters until it's done.
And that's exactly my point, is we better make sure, like even if you take 2 offline, we're probably in trouble this spring. So, I mean, if you can get, even if you got 2 done and keep the 3 online, that would be a big help.
Yeah. We're gonna try and get 2 done as soon as we can, and then we'll see where we are with the thaw. But regardless, we are not touching them during the spring turnover.
And that's my point, it's pretty chancy.
Where's this marmot out of?
Oh,
Are they out of Thunder Bay?
no,
So we gotta put them up and stuff?
they are
Is that
from
all?
Southern Ontario.
Is that all in that price?
Yeah.
That's including them staying and all that stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
At your house.
Ah,
It's Airbnb next door.
How long has that system been in operation? I know you said it, but I forgot.
1983.
41 years, something like that?
Yeah.
And those filters should be changed every 5 to 7 years?
Every 7 to 10 years.
And done never?
Never.
Never.
Yeah, concerning, I guess, that we've been running a plant for 40 some years and we're just learning how it operates. Or should be.
That's right,
He's not wrong.
I was gonna say, is that not something that Aqua should be on top of, but.
Well, it's something that's gotta be done, so.
Yeah, which, we don't have a choice.
Is there a deadline on the coagulant study? Like, I just want to be sure that this gets done before the coagulant, because I think otherwise we wasted our money.
Yes,
So is there a deadline for that study?
the coagulant was supposed to be done in 2025. Clean Water Center took some time to put the proposal together. But we can still, I'm confident that we can have the filters ready for when the new coagulant or whatever goes online. Because when Clean Water is going to be on site to do their testing, their lab work in our plant, they're shipping that replica to us. So I don't think they are like immediately putting the coagulant into the system. They're going to mirror the process first. And so the new coagulant, I wouldn't say would be ready for use in the plant until like August.
So it's the time difference between the phase 1 and phase 2 portions of this.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you're gonna have to work this into a budget, and let's be honest, water and sewer rates have been set. We can't put anything through there, but you might wanna be looking at different reserve funds. But I'll leave you to, I happen to agree, I don't think there's much we can do with this. I think this has to be
No,
done.
it's got it.
I
What-
agree too. I think that,
Yeah.
though, that everything goes off on the page, something's gotta come off. We gotta figure it out.
Yeah. So you'll put a proposal together when we look at the 2026,
Budget.
please and thank you.
Where, am I missing something? Where is accommodations and travel and stuff on this quote?
I saw it on the coagulant study quote.
Not sure.
I didn't-
I'm missing something on this one. I just don't wanna get another bill
Okay,
after.
have a look at your quote
Like
here,
in that
Tim.
135.6, where is room and board? Or they take that on themselves?
It says Mace, Martin service technician, and the cost falls at 24,000 based on 2 site visits. So.
Yeah, but that's their,
Yeah, is that included?
just their salary, isn't it?
I don't know, is that included?
I will inquire to,
Oh,
make
it's
sure.
good, it's a good
I
point.
thought I seen it,
Good point.
but.
It was on the coagulant study, there was travel on
Yeah,
that
that's why
invoice.
yes, on that one, but
That's
for
not Marmon.
Marmon,
No, it's not Marvin.
yeah,
They're coming from Southern Ontario, I'm assuming they're not coming on their own dime.
I will, I'll confirm.
Yeah. Okay,
Quote.
you're good with
You'll let
that?
us know?
Good with that, Tammy? Okay. Steering committee for the WWTP.
So this is strictly an information, report only, just that we are starting the steering committee and we are holding our first meeting, March 17th.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Director of Operations, Creston Engineering Progress Report.
And again, this is just information only at council's request to be kept in the loop of the progress that we are making. So the activity log will be something that you see and it will just grow longer and longer as the project goes on. But if, so basically I need to know if this kind of detail is what you're looking for or.
I like it.
Okay, okay.
And the public information meeting, that's changed, right?
April 7th, I think is when we are going to do it now.
April 7th.
Yeah.
We'll close out the meeting.
Good.
Okay, thanks, Terry. Number 13, at the influent Doppler?
Doppler.
Like Doppler radar for the weather.
So Crescent has asked if we would approve this expense for an influent Doppler, and it's an automatic sampler taker, and it takes a 24-hour period, and it gradually fills like a sample bottle over a 24-hour period. Then that bottle is taken and sent to a lab. And we want to test the raw sewage going into the sewer plant. And the reason that we want to do this is somewhere in the process, we repeatedly have an issue with pH to maintain the pH level between 6 and 9. And somewhere, we don't know if it's coming in high or low pH or if it's in the process that's creating the high pH, or sorry, low pH is what we have trouble with. So with gathering characteristics of the raw sewage coming into the plant, it will help in the design of what we're trying to do down there. It will also be able to, we'll move this Doppler from the influent to the effluent because we are also required to sample going out, and right now they're doing it manually, but with this purchase of the Doppler, it will be able to move to the other side. You just have to change all the hoses, but because none of the fluid goes through the actual Doppler.
No.
So this would be a permanent fixture
Yeah.
in the system?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was my question. good one.
Yeah, I didn't want it to be like a one-off thing.
Okay, number 14, you report on the CLI-ECA annual performance report.
Okay, so we were issued our first CLI ECAs for both the sewer collection system and the storm sewer collection system. With that comes some deliverables. We did complete the as-built drawings for the section of town north of the highway, so the Perry Street end. So that's all been done, and they updated the operating and maintenance manuals for both systems. And those have already been shared with the MECP, so we are compliant in that regard. We have to issue or produce an annual performance report annually for both systems. And once council approves them by resolution, then they are to be made public for the community. So both reports are attached here. Are there any questions?
Tammy, on page 4
Of which one?
of the first report, your storm sewer management system.
Okay.
Under table D, we say the township received one complaint during the reporting period related to the Schreiber storm sewer system. The types of complaints and corresponding steps taken to address them are described in table D. But in table D, there's nothing noted. So I'm guessing their complaint was outside of these 4 parameters: manhole, ladder, sewer, and trunk main.
That complaint was from 2024, and that is a typo. I will fix.
Okay.
Thank you.
I was just wondering why it wasn't there. Okay. And it talks about all the flushing that's being done in your second report. Storm sewer flushing, ditches and culverts, inlet and outlet, catch basins, all being done, but no adverse effects being noted. But all this flushing, just to be clear, is going down into the wastewater treatment plant, correct?
For the sewer collection, yes.
Okay.
For the storm sewer, it goes out that creek by the church.
Okay. So no, not sewer, by just the creek. Because we're just flushing water down ditches.
It's just storm water.
Okay.
Yeah.
Storm water into creek. Okay.
Is that something the federal government pays attention to?
Yeah, so there is a closed storm sewer system that is shared with the MTO and CP, and that is what is discharged by the church there, that culvert. And then the rest of it is sumps that are absorbed in the ground, and what is tied together, that stuff makes it down to the sewer plant.
So the question is that flow monitored or tested,
The stuff that goes to the sewer, yes.
but not the storm
No,
water?
But then it's just ditches and culverts.
it's just rainwater melt off. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Any other questions? Okay, the heat in the gym.
So we have had several issues in the gym with extreme heat. There was, I've been working on this now probably since November, trying to figure out what we can do to control the heat in there. Cloud Darlene came in and mapped out all of the pipes and circulations from the boiler. They did discover that there was an isolation valve for the rad in the gym.
That's
So,
the rats on the north side?
Yeah.
Okay.
so we asked them to shut that off so that we could, I mean, it was like sauna in there. So we shut that off, and then, I mean, it's a little on the cool side, But then we also discovered a leak in the middle of the rad. So Cloud Darling came back and installed another isolation valve for the return. So we have successfully stopped the leak on the rad, but they did figure out that all of the controls on that side of the building are still the pneumatic controls, the original 1962 controls. So what they are proposing to do is create another zone for that end of the building, take over all of the controls, make them electric like we did with this side of the building. And then we would be able to control the heat in the gym. The air exchanger has the original motor on it. It sounds god awful when you turn it on. It's still working at this point, but you can hear that the bearings are failing in there. So we also got a quote for the motor on the air exchanger at $3,000. I would recommend that we do this work at the same time that we create a zone in there if you choose to move forward with this. So Cloud Darling has quoted $16,495 to create a heating zone in the gym wing, with an additional $3,395 for a motor on the air exchanger.
So there's heat in there now,
In the gym,
or no?
there is not.
Yes, it's freezing in there. Okay.
No, the whole north side had to be turned on.
Yeah, so if we don't do the zone thing, can we still heat that? Or then
It's
it
gonna
turns
be
into a sauna?
all or nothing.
Okay.
That,
It was cold in there when I was here for that badminton tournament. It was
Yeah.
freezing.
no, that must have been a different day than when I was talking to you, because it wasn't that bad.
Oh my gosh,
to
Tom.
me afraid.
Our arena's warmer.
Yeah, the seniors curling for the winter carnival, they were frozen. Mm-hmm.
I mean, we
It needs heat.
Yeah, we have.
definitely got to take a look at it. Like, I agree. We've been dealing with it since November. I mean, we take a look at it. We know the prices, so I mean, we got to try and fit it in there, in the budget.
How hot does it get? Like when it's on, like
Well, the seniors were complaining when they were doing their VON stretch. They were saying that they were flushed and really hot, and some of them were felt like they were going to pass out.
It's pretty warm.
It was hot.
It's, yeah. And pickleball, they're like, whoo! They've got industrial light fans running.
extra exercise. Get a good sweat.
Yes, it is. Well, I mean, there's a couple things. I agree with the mayor. I mean, it's got to see, got to work on a 2026 budget. But later on in the minutes, I noticed, and I'm wondering if this is what this is, in the senior center minutes from February, there is mention that there is possibly a grant. I mean, a lot of that gym is being used for senior activities.
Mhm.
Floor curling, stretch, pickleball, walking programs. Is there a chance that perhaps in 2026, a special grant, part of it could be used to actually cover up some of this?
We kind of worded the special grant that because it was based on physical activity this year.
Yes.
So we did add this to that. Whether it is accepted or not, I don't know at this point. But the topic has been such a burning issue that I had to bring it to your attention at least. I understand if you want me to just add it to the budget for deliberations and we make a decision at that point.
Yeah.
But
But there is a possibility that you might get this covered by grant.
there is a possibility.
And when do you think you'll know?
When do we find out about that grant?
It
Why is it?
varies depending on, but I would say probably not before May.
It's the special project one.
Before next winter.
But if you,
Yeah, but-
I don't think the special grant
say
covers.
That's what I mean. Like realistically, we'll know by next winter, right?
Yeah.
I
When
thought,
it's warming up, it's not gonna be that
What
bad.
did you, it depends on what you applied for in your special grant, number one. It depends on how much you get approved for. The maximum is 15,000, and I
Right.
don't believe capital qualifies for special grant. So those are those questions. My question, I have two questions about the upgrades. What I understand are that the thermostat controls do not control the temperatures in the room. So why would we put the same thermostats in over there if you can't control anything? And is fixing or isolating, and Councillor Bourgeau, you said that we had to turn off, when they turned the heat off to the gym,
Just on that north side.
when it was
Mm-hmm.
disconnected, you said the north side of the building, so did that include the part of our offices? Because our offices went from comfortable to 15 degrees.
Your director of operations, she'd know more than I did.
That's a completely different issue that was actually solved today when Claude Darling was here.
Okay,
Yeah, I think it's this whole zone idea.
No,
I think that half of the gym it's not in its own zone and needs to be. That's
Yeah.
what we're doing with this.
yeah, the gym wing is also still on hot water,
Right,
and this side of the building is on glycol.
right.
The old side, the gym wing, was on pneumatic controls, and the compressor has blown apart, so we know that that's not working, and the controls quit in the open position, which is why you're getting that influx of heat in there.
Right, so the only way to fix it was to turn it off.
That's right.
Yeah.
And don't forget that the gym is the first town on the highway, so it's getting all the heat before it comes to the rest of the building, right?
Yeah. But this is not saying we're gonna change that hot water heat out, it's we're gonna control it.
That's right. We're just,
Because hot water heat is bulletproof.
yeah,
I wouldn't say change it out,
it
leave
is
it in.
just the,
It's the controls.
just.
But good question, Marlene.
yeah,
That
we
is-
the
that's it.
controls are answered, but that's what.
No, there is another repair
We
that's
still
being
have
made for the
space heaters.
offices, yeah. No, I think the gym is a separate issue, a separate animal.
We got that answer today when they were here.
Yeah,
Okay, so we'll talk about this with budget.
I would say we bring it up
Yeah.
in budget.
I think that gym's used enough by the community that we need to take a good look at it.
Okay. What do you think, Mayor?
Okay, no, I agree, I was gonna say something, I can't remember, so, but,
That's okay, it helped have us all this.
yeah.
I need to put my jacket on.
I don't think those little kids were moving fast enough for that.
Okay, we're gonna get the,
Jackets in our office.
get the report on the, swarm in the office.
No,
No, it's not.
no.
The Winter Carnival, 2026 Winter Carnival, sorry.
So Kathy and her senior center put on the winter carnival this year. And her original plan was to break even, if you recall, in an earlier report. But then she wanted to do a mail out with all of her brochures, or her booklet, carnival booklet. So she reached out to a couple sponsors to see if she could cover her postage, and some of you'll see in the budget down below that the sponsors were very generous, and so it covered her postage and more. So with the extra money that we received from sponsors, we were able to put on the princess tea and the sliding party for the kids on Sunday. We bought a GT racer for that event, and we bought some special teacups and stuff for the princess tea. So Kathy had borrowed art supplies from the seed program, but we have since discovered that we are not running that program, so I don't know that we have to replenish any of those supplies at this point. Although Kathy has suggested that maybe she'll use the balance for a bracket for her, the pickleball, curling, the
Yeah.
Pictionary, I think, was one of the things. So instead, she would have the bracket made up generic, just Township of Schreiber. They can be used for all events that we put on that require a bracket.
Well, first,
You,
yeah, sorry, Dave, go ahead.
but it would have to be a specific set amount of teams for a specific,
Well, we have the larger,
like if that's a 32 team bracket.
that's right. So she's
So every
proposing
event
to
would
make
have-
it 24.
Okay, yeah, that's not just.
I mean, the first thing for me is I would like to see the 2026 Winter Carnival budget numbers just verified by Treasury, just to make sure these are right. But in the case that it is right, normally what happens after Winter Carnival and after Heritage Days is any surplus or any shortfall is taken out of the reserve, recreation reserve. I would suggest that since we've been doing it that way, that we don't change it. However, if she needs stuff like that, then have it come out of recreation reserve. We've never ever said to any of the events that we've had, let's take like last year we had, I have to go back to the minutes, I think $1,600. We don't say we're gonna spend it, we move it into recreation reserve. But I think whether you wanna use it for seed or you wanna buy brackets and stuff, have it come out of recreation.
It was a senior event this year rather than a recreation event. So all of this money was funneled through her programming GL.
And it was not funneled through recreation at all.
No,
And then it should go back into her programming GL.
that's where it is, yeah.
That 400 though, should go back in there.
Into Kathy's programming?
What isn't that where it should go then?
Yes.
Okay, so that's good information. So the 2026 Winter Carnival was funded and ran through the senior center and not recreation.
Correct.
100%.
Then in that case, I mean, if it's her money, yeah.
Yeah, she.
And the revenue will be reported on the SALC grant.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Any more questions for Tammy?
Thanks, Tim.
Okay, Director of Operations, Program Instructor Contract.
So this is just being brought to council as an information piece. I am making a recommendation here that we model the way we should model the rental, but it's completely up to council how you see fit to proceed. Currently, there is a contract with the fitness instructor for a 70-30 split. So the instructor gets 70% of the registrations and the township gets 30% of the registrations. So this last session that ran from January 27th to March 5th, there was a total of $399 collected for registrations. So of that, 70% of that would be $279 going to the instructor and the township gets $119.70. If you were to rent the facility at $83.44 an hour, that's how long the class is, isn't it, per hour? I mean, we should have been collecting $1,001. I'm not sure that the business model would work from the instructor's perspective, but from a township's perspective, we need to at least look at the percentages, because 119 does not cover the cleaning for 6 weeks, twice a week.
You can bring it back, we'll chew on that. I mean, that's hard, because
Yeah, I think you're good.
it's, I don't think they'd have anybody in the class if they got to raise the price substantially. What did you say the split was? I haven't, 70-30?
70-30.
Maybe talk to the instructor. I know 60-40 won't cut it either, but we also want the people to be active and whatnot. Yeah, no, bring it back to next meeting. That's my say anyway.
I mean, from my point of view is this is a rec program, right? This is a recreation, and I think it's part of our responsibility is to provide recreation and healthy living to our residents. If you were really going to take every recreation service that we offered, for instance, if you were to add minor hockey, what we collect from them on a monthly basis and what we collect from figure skating, I'm going to almost guarantee you that you would not cover the expense of that arena, including wages and everything else that gets taken into account. Recreation programs traditionally and historically run at a loss. I don't know that this is much different. The other thing is, this kind of opens the door then to, if we're going to charge one, let's charge them all. So at $83.44 for room 124 at the gym, I expect to see invoices go off to the senior center. There's nobody at this table, including me, that would want to see that. I just happen to think that we provide recreation just as a point of interest. Do we make money on it? Not ever. But there are programs we can offer to the community. I agree with the mayor. I'd like to see you bring it back, but that's just one councillor's opinion.
I don't know, I wouldn't even bring it back, I wouldn't change anything.
Yeah, I think if this changes, we may not have an instructor for our class.
Benji, what's your thought?
I'm having a little bit hard time hearing. I think there's a college party going on here inside. Grown man college party, but anyway, no, I don't know. That's a tough one. I think if anything, we got to take it back and we got to spend some time on it because, yeah, I know for myself, I want to understand, exactly what it's going to look like. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's tough. I understand that we need to start generating some revenue, but we're going to end up with nobody in any of our facilities here pretty soon for anything.
Yeah, I agree with you, but but I think we gotta start educating the public, like also too, the prices of everything. Like I was at the meeting for the mill today, the NDP there, they got blown away when I told them I signed a check for $17,000 for electricity for 1 month at the arena. Like, and if the hydro goes up like it was last year, or what it's supposed to next year, we're probably signing a check for in the 20s.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, it's hard. So yeah, I think there's got to be an education piece out there too. That you put my, I'll just go ice time. You put my ice time up $5. Well, we're $50 behind marathons. But if you put the ice up $5, everybody has a fix.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, and maybe we need to go maybe a little deeper into depth here too, and understand what people in Schreiber and Terrace Bay make versus what people in Marathon make. I don't know if there's that type of stuff is available, but yeah, I agree, 100%. Everything's expensive, and it almost seems sometimes like there's no way to win, but we got to look at it for sure.
I think the recreation, you're never gonna win. Like you said,
We don't make money on rec.
you're never gonna make money on a rec thing.
No.
We're not a gym,
Well,
we're
not-
not a private entity.
Not at the arena, you never will. because of the ice plant, right? But, I mean, in this building, we should be able to at least break even.
Well, I'm not, it was just gonna be an empty gym.
You won't run
Yeah,
recreation,
it's
yeah.
just an empty gym. 100%.
And also this benefits members of our community. Like who uses this program? The,
She has quite a few from what I'm too old to do this
Well-
anymore, but I'm sure that, no, like cardio or aerobics, I'm not jumping around, holy man. No, I'm not, I'm just being honest, but I'm guessing she's got, I don't know how many, do we know how many people she has registered?
That 399
Yeah.
represented, I think she had something like 8 people.
8 people.
And they have a choice of signing up for both classes in the week or just half. So they would only attend 1 class per week instead of 2.
Right.
So she had a blend of those kind of people that had signed up as well. Some were full class, some were just half class. And then there's senior discounts in there. There was a different rate for, I think, non-residents. So, I mean, there's different rates there as well. So it's just the total in the GL, and then she gets 70, we get 30.
So maybe that's some of the information that could come back in Tim.
What,
So the detailed information that you're providing for us now.
the number of,
Yeah, participants and stuff that kind of goes on, right?
and age groups too, like is this mostly seniors or is it a mix? That's good information too.
okay. Anything else?
No.
Okay.
Okay, Schreiber Senior Center Committee meeting minutes.
Yeah, so there was a lot of discussion on the programs and I actually called Kathy today and just to get an update on a few things, and it was Coffee Tuesday and I guess that's a really successful program. She said there's like 30 people there.
It's packed.
And then I said, well, what's the mixture like men to women? And she said it's half and half. So really good social event. So that's just one of the programs that's successful. But just looking at the minutes, you can tell that a lot of them are self-sustaining and successful. So I mean, we're just going on and adding things and changing things up a bit here and there. So I can't say enough about the senior center and how successful it is. So, but I just did get an update on some of the things that have gone on lately, and of course, Tammy talked about the winter carnival and how well that went. Most of us, or some of us, were at the health fair on Sunday, and that was. I mean, I enjoyed myself there. I think most people did. There were 97 participants. Unfortunately, account of the weather, there was a few presenters that couldn't make it. So, but it was Kathy filled in the time by going around to all the exhibitors and letting them promote what they're doing. So some upcoming events, Spring Fling in April with a local band. We're gonna bring back high tea again this year, which was so much fun.
It was awesome.
And then another idea is a Mother's Day tea, and coordinated with the local schools. So lots coming up.
Awesome.
Yeah, good stuff.
Who is that? And mention that lady that came all the way up from Toronto just for that,
Oh.
one of the sponsors.
Yeah.
She was one of the funders, yeah.
She's a funder, and she was really impressed with what was going on. I mean, that was a long way to come up, but I don't think she'd ever been up in this area.
No, she hadn't been, she said.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so he's happy that she came.
Okay, Aqua water wastewater, the monthly operations report.
So this report is for January 2026, and there's nothing that was highlighted in the report for me. Is there anything that somebody... Aqua has reported that, and I say this very carefully, we should touch wood as we say it, but there's been very little call-outs recently, so things are going very well at the moment.
Either or.
Yes.
Either or,
Yeah.
yeah, there was, I think one.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
I love that the filters are like 4 out of 5. We got recorded running at 100%.
Mm-hmm. Spring hasn't started.
No, we're gonna enjoy the January. I'm okay with that. I'm gonna enjoy the January. That was awesome.
That's my word.
That is the parameter that we're supposed to be between 95 and 100.
No questions then for, okay, 2025 annual and summary reports.
So this is the annual report for the drinking water system. Normally you would see 3 attachments to this report, Schedule 11, Schedule 22, and then the reporting. But Jeremy is new to Aqua. He is the new compliance officer there, and he has amalgamated all of those schedules into this one report. So you'll see in the sections where it says Section 3 is Schedule 11, for example, and then Section 4 is Schedule 22.
Mm-hmm.
The report looks good. Once council accepts this report, it is to be made public, so we would put it on our town website, and I provide a copy to the public library, and it's made available here at the front office.
Jeremy Drindak?
Yeah.
Did you say he was new?
Relatively. It used to be,
Really?
yep, within the year.
He's been there since, well, maybe a different role.
Yeah. Jeremy.
Yeah, it could be a different role then, but
Yeah.
he's
He's
new
been
to
there
the
forever.
compliance within the last year.
Yeah.
Can't remember the other guy's name. That's escaping me at the moment.
That was there?
That was there before Jeremy, in compliance.
In your report, Tim, I've got questions. We talked about in previous items on the coagulant study and on the filter study. And we talked about a lot of what we're seeing, right? Parameters of HAAs, I think, and all that stuff come through. What I find interesting in this 2025 report is the details that they provide on inorganic parameters tested where there was no exceedance. There's not a single solitary exceedance in there.
What page are you looking at?
On page 6. Same thing with page 7, which is organic parameters sampled during this reporting period. There is 1, which wasn't that high, but were reportable, benzo. So I just think it's HAAs, there were reportables for sure, and THMs, there were reportables for sure. I can't tell by the numbers how bad that exceedance is, because he doesn't give me a standard reporting, right? So he reports that yes, there was THMs and yes, there was HAAs. He gives me values, but I don't know how that compares to what we're supposed to be looking at. So that's one thing. The other thing is, starting on page 4, and it talks here about significant expenses, and it's got a list of repairing, and it's all repair, all different items that they repaired in 2025. So I guess my question is, they have a repair list that totals $108,822.30, almost $109,000. Were these repairs all actually done in 2025
Yes.
through operations?
They were part of the capital list.
So they were part of the capital
Yep.
list.
Yep. And so there are some that were additions, but most of it is from the capital list.
List, okay. Do you think, would that represent annually what kind of capital we're putting into our water treatment plant?
Yes, this is, I would say that this list is more reflective of capital upgrades. The operational requirements are not necessarily listed here.
They're
so,
not,
yeah.
no. Okay. But I just thought the annual report was good reading. I just thought it was interesting that some of the things that they're concerned about. And then last but not least, I will talk to you very quickly about turbidity.
Sorry, can I just answer your HAA question first?
Sure.
So the HAAs, when you look at the numbers here, this is reflective of the a one result sort of thing, where when we report to the ministry, it's quarterly and it's a running annual average.
Well, they're saying that, no, we are showing annual averages.
So the 99, sorry, I'm not seeing what.
On page 8, and it talks about distribution, right? THMs and HAAs, they're saying 2025 average, and it's got 66.8, which was an exceedance, and HAA 58.0, which was an exceedance, but I don't know compared to what.
Oh, I see where you're looking. Okay, I was looking on page 5.
No, see, but I don't know how much over, or I can't tell. They don't provide what the base level is.
Your base, you cannot exceed 25.
Okay, so that might be just, and it's not your fault. Well, it might just be some good information that they want to, because they don't say that in here. So base is 25. And then back to turbidity, which we talk a lot about. It seems to me we only had in 2025 3 occurrences of turbidity, and so I'm asking, is that correct? And that's on page 5.
So turbidity is another one that has different parameters. So we can spike over 1, but it cannot be over 1 for more than 15 minutes at a time. So there's variations of high turbidity.
So these turbidity exceedances that happened April the 2nd, the 29th, and the 30th, they were the only, or no?
Those are the only ones that would have exceeded the 15 minute
minutes.
limit. Yeah.
Okay. But there could have been more, just it didn't exceed.
Exactly.
Okay, so they don't mention that in there either. I'm going to just add this to report. That exceeded 15 minutes. Okay. Thanks, Jen. That's good information. It's hard to read these reports when I don't want them comparing myself to.
Okay.
Any more questions? Okay, move on to communications then.
Nope.
Nope.
I just, as soon as I said that.
One more.
So we are
Financial plan.
we are in the process of applying for our municipal drinking water license renewal. The renewal has to go in for April 1st of 2026, and then the actual license gets issued in October of 2026. In order to qualify to renew our drinking water license, we need to have a financial plan that reflects 6 years. The one that we currently have is expiring in October of 2026. So we can submit our application April 1st with the old financial plan, but we will not get our renewed license until a new financial plan is submitted. So we have until October to get a new one done and submitted, or we don't have a drinking water license. So according to regulation 45307, it has to be done by engineers, and it has to reflect 6-year period of projected numbers, and it has to be adopted by council before we can send it into the MECP for our drinking water license renewal. So Aqua has quoted, they did the one in 2021, by the way. So for them to complete this financial plan, they have quoted $8,500. And we need to get them moving right away on this so that I'm not delayed with a drinking water license, because there are no extensions.
Why does this seem very last minute?
It-
If you knew this was, if Aqua knew this was expiring in 2026, why, oh. Because then they just put us in a position where it's like, yeah, okay, we have to do it.
Well, they could have reported to Tam, she could have
That's what-
put it,
that's
she
what
could
I
have put
mean.
it through in a capital budget back in
Yeah.
December.
That's what I'm frustrated about.
Yeah. This is very last minute. When he called me with this, I was pretty upset. And it doesn't make any sense to me that this is an add-on service in the Aqua contract, but it is.
Yeah.
Specifically listed as the financial plan. So Patrick has indicated that there was a disconnect in their chain of command, that he didn't get that same message that we have record of it expiring in this year. So going forward, I have asked him to use his calendar reminders. I mean, you know, when this stuff expires, we should be getting a heads up.
And they should be putting it on their 10-year plan that they submit when they submit their minor and major maintenance. It should be on there because it doesn't qualify as a capital expense. This is an operating expense, right? So we should be budgeting. You may have room in your, I can't remember, it might be in the contingency or whatever for 2026, but certainly let's hope that they know when the license expires.
Yeah.
And they did have the emails way back in, I think it was September. They should have, it'd be interesting to go back on other 10-year plans to find out whether or not they had it and they took it off.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
It's kind of like the filter stuff.
I went through, when I first came on board, I went through all of my binders and licenses and I put them in my calendar. So Patrick's been aware that this drinking water license renewal was coming up. And I believe it's next year, our permit to take water is expiring. So, I mean,
That comes up more often though, doesn't it? Cause I
Yes,
think we've
it
already done one
does.
of those, son,
It
yeah.
does,
I
yeah.
remember you asking for, it, yeah.
So
That's not on you to remind him.
it shouldn't be.
Then
It should be on
it
their
should be on
list.
them to pay for some of this. If they're gonna wait till last minute, is there a chance it's not done by October?
He has been told that there is no delay in this. There is
No, I mean, like, is there a chance if we say yes tonight, this financial plan is definitely gonna be done by the time of October 2026 when it expires?
Yes,
They-
they have their schedule in here.
But it's
June
in-
2026
okay.
is when they're going to have it finalized.
Can it be longer than the 6 years?
It just, in the regulation,
minimum
it
is
says
6.
minimum 6.
Minimum 6.
So you may want to also consider redoing it at a different cycle as your,
The license to draw water.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
like offset kind of thing?
I'm just
Extend the
annoyed.
financial plan out?
It's a lot of aqua stuff. There's a lot of water treatment plant stuff, I know,
I'm not annoyed at that, I'm just annoyed
that it comes up like
just
this, yeah.
constant last minute on their part. It's annoying.
Okay, let's move on to communications. then.
You have to get it done, Tam, it's
So do
short
I have
long, but you have to write.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Begrudgingly.
We need a water license,
Okay, thank you.
begrudgingly.
Did I send you the updated number 2 there? Did I send you the updated Pinky McRae thing?
I don't think so.
Why I sent it to you?
I'll have to log up on that. This is the wrong one?
Well, it's the one that was sent first, and then she sent an updated one.
So what are we talking here, number 2?
Yeah.
Trustee thing.
Oh, the government's thinking about eliminating trustees.
Well, they're taking over some boards already. I'm not gonna take over boards up here, cause then they have to send someone to work here.
Yes.
They're taking over the Toronto boards, cause that's where they.
Oh, reissued letters, sorry. Okay,
So maybe we'll have to put it on next
Yeah.
meeting, number 2.
And that's just the information fairly consistent with what you already got? Or was it different? Was it a lot different, maybe?
I didn't even,
I didn't read the second one.
Okay. I hear it in the news. I don't discount what Dave's saying. I don't think they are gonna come up here, but I think if legislation ever comes through to get rid of trustees, I don't know that I would like that idea very much.
I don't think I'd like it either, but.
Yeah.
And there's always a chance, cause they changed Thunder Bay's conservation area.
Yeah,
Just like, right?
huge.
So if we do have a chance to support them not doing it, I think that's probably the right thing to do.
Yeah.
So just go ahead then, or do you want it
I mean,
modified?
unless it says trustees are bad, then.
No.
So then, yeah, I would say.
No,
support
I think
it.
we wanna try and keep trustees in our
I'll send
school
it to
systems.
Cecile. Okay,
I have a question about number one.
keep going.
Number one, it's asking for feedback.
Sorry?
The Black Bear proposal, they're asking for feedback by March the 16th to finalize their objectives. We're asking what social, cultural, and economic considerations such as community priorities, tourism, land use, or local safety concerns should the ministry be aware of in your area. My question is, have we reported to them?
I have not even read this letter, so I would say
There. It talks about community safety. I think you would certainly have something to say about that.
Okay.
They're just, it's like this, you go onto this site and it just gives you a chance to do some input. It said people are already seeing black bears out.
I heard that a couple of weeks ago.
And number 6, Township of Schreiber.
Municipal housing corporations.
Right?
Do you have anything, Councillor Bryson?
Nope.
Okay, there you go.
So it's,
I don't know, does Schreiber want to have their own municipal housing corporation? That'd be,
no.
No. Maybe.
Okay. Everybody's good with it, then we'll move on to unfinished business, significant event policy bylaw.
So this is a draft bylaw that we talked about at the last meeting, for you to have a look at. It was pulled a lot from the regulation.
I think it addresses everything you need to address for working for Public Works. I mean, every DSAB just did a policy like this, but it deals with people who are homeless in severe weather events, right? So I think you've addressed what we needed to be worried about, I think, with the corporation and the Township of Schreiber. I don't know if you guys can see any other problems besides Public Works in a severe weather event.
Just gives us more protection,
Yeah.
Yeah.
liability.
Yeah.
I'm good.
So we just bring that forward next meeting, or?
Yeah.
For enactment.
For enactment, yeah.
Okay, other business, joint council meetings?
You asked for that to be on the agenda.
Yeah, no, I mean,
No, I knew that.
He did sound like he was asking this.
nobody brought the joint. No, I've been talking to Paul off and on about the joint council meetings for some time now. So I really want to just give Wanda some direction to try and get them. We'll host the first meeting, and if it ends up being in the afternoon, like, we don't need all 5 of us. I mean, it will come back to council before anything is, because I mean, sometimes there might only be 2 of us there.
Yeah, I think it'd be nice, I am in 100% agreement with this. I think
Oh,
a
yeah.
joint council meeting is an excellent idea. I would like to see it in the evening so that our other councilors can attend to. Because I think Dubé would have the same problem, that he wouldn't be able
Oh,
to
no,
attend.
for sure, but I mean, if you
It's nice to
have
have all of us
no,
there.
but if you have to have them in the afternoon, I'm saying,
Then,
So like sometimes there might be just, say, you and Dan. I mean, it would have to come back to council, but I would want it to come back to
Yeah.
council.
I just think there's so many opportunities to explore so many different things. The first one might be a really good one, just to
It's huge.
throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks.
It's huge.
Are you gonna come up with an agenda for the first meeting and,
Well, we can,
Some ideas, or-
always the first meeting's always, yeah, we can come up with,
what you
A
want
little
to
bit.
maybe talk about?
and then
Start
we,
things off. Yeah.
how
Look
are
at the
we gonna
previous
do it?
meetings. You can look at the previous joint council meetings that we've had,
Do we have records of that, Cecile?
My
not
first,
for this council.
my first term,
We have had them in the past though.
we had 2 a year, maybe?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
been, they have not been consistent.
Usually we would host one and they would host one.
They haven't been, yeah, we'd go terrace once and then we'd have one here in the evenings. And there was an agenda.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Minutes.
sometimes if we got to an item, we knew it was gonna get,
You
yeah.
felt they were productive days?
We had so few that I don't know if I could really
I mean-
pass a judgment on that.
Yeah, well, no,
And it was so long ago.
yeah, I think there's opportunities.
No, I think you gotta try and go
Yeah.
for, 4 meetings like quarterly.
Yeah, we definitely didn't have 4.
No, I was thinking they were consistent, they were twice a
Yeah,
year.
it was twice a year.
But I think, I think the mayor's right. You call an inaugural one and see what kind of appetite's
Yeah,
out there.
No,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I know what appetite is out there, it's just, we have to get on the same page with some issues,
Yeah.
so.
So you have an inaugural meeting because it's been so long and you handle some of these questions.
Okay,
You
so
are-
you can get a hold, okay.
Yeah, I'll touch.
Set something up?
Okay, March break ice schedule.
Yeah, I sent an email out. I thought it would be a nice idea if we could, for March break for the kids, offer some free public skating at the arena. Because all the user groups are obviously taking the week off. And then if you look at the schedule,
There's lots of
I thought
overtime.
maybe we could just do like 11 to 4 public skating and then fill some more with shinny and let the kids play shinny and then the public skate if everyone's in agreement, just for that week.
Is that because the user groups are taking a week off, or are the user groups done? Like some of them, not them all.
They're dwindling out.
I can only speak for, like, I coach the U7s.
Yeah.
And yeah, our last skate in Schreiber, so that we booked the 30th, I believe, but that's, I think, our only group for Schreiber mine
Yeah.
would be then.
Yeah, they're down to one
Yeah,
block.
and then figure skating, the can skates.
That's still
season's
going on, yeah.
No, the can skates technically done. So then it'll just be ice show practice and they would be renting from us. I would assume.
Yeah, they're going to increase their schedule
Yeah.
there after the March break.
But yeah, hockey would be done. And it's March
Okay.
break and the kids are home during the day. That was my thought, honestly. There's not much else to do because the weather's
Mm-hmm.
hit or miss.
There's nothing wrong with having a few blocks for them, like during the March break, for sure. I don't think so.
Jim, do you have issues with that?
My only concern is that it does require the rec operators to stay in the building during public skate times. If there's only, one guy out there, I mean, he could fall on the ice and be there for hours before we find
Yeah,
out.
that's not have that happen.
Yeah.
For the love of God.
So our guys would be limited to that building as long as public skating is going on.
But if we do a lot of advertising, we should, I think, I kind of suspect that Dave's right, you'll probably get a good crowd.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be 11 to 4. You could start do it at noon or start the block at the noon to what you have there. Then maybe add another shinny block at the end. Just more ice for the March break because the kids got nothing to do. Is my suggestion.
Mm-hmm. Because it looks like, from Monday to Friday, that from 11 till 2, you have nothing, and then on the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, of course, you have time after shin. But
That's 11 to 3.
mm-hmm. Yeah, 11 to 3.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And it would have to go against our policy for paying public skating for just this week. I would recommend free public skating.
Sorry, what?
I would recommend free public skating for this week, which is against the current policy, but I would make it just contained to this week, if everyone's in favor of that. That was my thought.
No,
I'm okay with it.
I'm definitely okay
I'm
with
good.
it.
I'm good with it too.
And I would advertise it nicely on Facebook.
We're gonna advertise it soon, yeah.
So you're adding shinny as well, is that gonna be free as well?
No, the shinny, you could say they gotta wear, that's,
They got their
they
pass.
have the shitty pass,
Okay.
yeah. I would say free public skating, this time to this time, Monday to Friday for March break.
Yep.
Does that sound good?
Okay, Senior of the Year Award for Ontario.
Or Ontario.
It's not Schreiber.
Is there?
Have we done this before?
Isn't it?
What's for Schreiber?
Oh, is it?
It's put on by the government of Ontario. That's why it's
No,
called
I
that.
didn't think it was for Schreiber, honestly.
Can we get a list of, or is it on there, the list of?
No.
It isn't on there.
Okay.
No, I can email you the list of.
Okay.
The other thing is typically too, what we've done, I think the last couple of years is turn this over to our senior active living coordinator.
We also, that's, can we ask
Well,
Kathy to
we
put
get
forward
input
a couple
from,
names?
from
Mhm.
for sure.
That'd be great.
Yeah, we get input from her, but we make the
Yeah.
decision.
Decision, right, exactly, yeah.
I can do
You gonna mention it to her?
Thanks, Dad.
And if you feel like you wanna nominate someone, nominate them.
Not the public process.
Hmm?
The public? Is it
No,
a public nomination? No.
No, this is
just
council's
yeah,
nomination.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it'll be in the full session at the next meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you wanna nominate
Yeah, I'll,
a senior person,
don't own me.
go ahead.
Okay.
Okay, so that brings us to the end of the meeting. I'm not missing anything, eh? Resolution 74-26, moved by Councillor McGrath, seconded by Councillor Morrow, that the meeting now adjourn at 9:04 PM. All those in favor?
But I didn't know there was a.